Hello everyone. So today let's discuss the next topic of morphology of flowering plants, that is the inflorescence. Okay, inflorescence means the arrangement and distribution of flowers on the floral axis. Okay, here the flowers develop either from axillary or from the terminal buds. That means if we consider the stalk of the floral axis, so how the flowers are arranged there, that particular thing indicates the inflorescence. Now if the flowers are born singly, then they are known as solitary flowers, and if they are occurring in a particular compound manner, then they are known as the inflorescence. Then the stalk of the flower is known as peduncle. Okay, so this is the pedicel. Okay, the stalk of the inflorescence is the peduncle, and the stalk of the flower, individual flower, is called the pedicel. Now, in solitary flower, that means the flowers which bear singly or occur singly, they may be either terminal or axillary. That means already we are telling that the flowers may develop either from axillary bud or from the terminal bud. So if it develops from the terminal bud and it is single, then it is known as single terminal. If it is developing from the axillary bud, okay, as you can see in case of hibiscus, then it is known as solitary axillary. Okay, then based on how the flowers are arranged, inflorescence are of two types. One is called the racemose inflorescence and other is the cymose inflorescence. Now as we have discussed about racemose and cymose in our stem part, similar to that, the racemose inflorescence, it is indeterminate or indefinite inflorescence. That means here the growth point takes place continuously. Okay, the peduncle can produce indefinite number of flowers without any stop. Okay, and the peduncle, it can elongate even then the flowers are arranged in acropetal succession. Now acropetal succession means when the older flowers are placed at the basal part and younger flowers are towards the apical portion. Okay, and if the peduncle is flat, then centripetal type of succession is observed. Centripetal means the older flowers are born towards the periphery and younger flowers are present at the central part. Okay, now the racemose inflorescence is again divided into different types. So first is the simple racemose. Here, as in case of racemose, it is an indefinite indeterminate inflorescence. Here the flowers are born on an unbranched peduncle. Okay, now it can be divided into raceme type. Raceme type means here the flowers are pedicellate, pedicel is present, and are born on unbranched peduncle. So this is the peduncle, this is the pedicels. Okay, example Caesalpinia, radish. Then next is the spike. Spike means the flowers are sessile and they develop on an elongated peduncle. Sessile means stalk is absent. Example bottle brush. Then next we come to the catkin type of inflorescence. Okay, so this is a catkin inflorescence where the flowers are sessile and unisexual and are born on a pendulous peduncle. Okay, then next is the spikelet. So as you can see, this is a diagram of spikelet which is observed in case of wheat. Here small few flowers are produced. Okay, then two sterile scales are there which are known as the glumes, and this is normally observed in case of the grass family, that is in Poaceae family. The next one is the strobili, which is observed in case of humulus or hop. Here the bracts, it is a condensed spike. The spike or the flowers all become condensed and their bracts are large and persistent. Okay, and they are forming a strobili type of structure. Then next raceme is racemose inflorescence is the spadix. Now this type of inflorescence, here they have a large covered spathe. Okay, a spathe is there, or this is the outer covering, this is called the spathe. Now this spathe, it consists of a peduncle whose upper portion is sterile and it is known as the appendix. Then next to the appendix lies the male flowers. Okay, Then after the male flowers, there are female flowers are there. Some hair like structures are also present, which consist of neuter flowers. So this is the whole thing of the spadix, okay, and this is normally observed in case of colocasia. Got it? Next is the corymb type. Corymb, here what happened, the peduncle is short, okay, and the pedicels of the lower flowers are larger. Now as you can see, the lower flowers pedicels are large enough so that all the flowers are appearing in a particular level, okay. So this type of inflorescence is known as the corymb type. It is observed in case of Cassia sophera. Then corymbos, this is also similar to that of the corymb, but the flowers are not placed at a level, though the lower pedicels are longer, okay. So these are all the different types, okay. Then next we come to the umbel. Umbel, here it is like the peduncle is short and from a common point pedicels develop, okay. So these are all pedicellate type of flowers. Example be observed in case of Centella asiatica or in case of coriander also. Then capitulum, which is the advanced type of inflorescence, or it is known as the racemose head, okay. Here the peduncle is flat. It's like a concave or convex disc and it bears sessile flowers on the top, okay. The upper part, here flowers are there. These are arranged in centripetal fashion. That means these are younger flowers which are present at the center portion, and these are the mature old flowers which are present towards the periphery, okay. Now this whole inflorescence is covered by a whole of involucre, okay, which are also known as phyllarins. This normally occurs in case of Asteraceae family like sunflower, ageratum, then our marigold, okay. So this is the capitulum. Now these are all the different types of simple raceme. Now next we come to the compound raceme. Compound raceme means same thing but it will occur in group. So this one, it is the first type. You can see this is a simple raceme. We are grouping it together, and so this one raceme, two raceme, three raceme, four raceme, and together they are forming a compound raceme, okay. It is example, or it is also known as the panicle. Example, the gulmohar. Then this is the compound spike is there, okay. That means the flowers are sessile, they are also borne together. Spikelet, they are also like that of the spike only, but they will just assemble together. Then compound spadix is there. Compound corymb is there, which is observed in case of cauliflower, which is an edible type of inflorescence, okay. Now umbel, you can see this is a compound umbel. This is one umbel, so all the umbels are together assembled to form a compound umbel, okay. So this is a corymb, individual corymb, they are together forming a compound corymb. So these are all the different type of inflorescence, racemose type of inflorescence, okay. Now next we come to the cymose type of inflorescence. Cymose inflorescence means where the flower or the floral axis ends in a flower, okay, it terminates in a flower. That's why the growth is determinate or definite, we can say. Now similar to that of the branches, this particular inflorescence also is divided into three parts, uniparous, biparous and multiparous. Uniparous means where the terminal bud of the main axis ends in a flower, and so the lateral branches, the lateral buds will develop into flowers and continue the activity, okay. Now if the branching or if the development is taking in one part, as you can see in this diagram, the flowers are developed in only one side, then we call it as helicoid, okay. And if it is occurring on both the sides, then we call it as scorpioid type of cyme, okay. This is helicoid cyme, this is a scorpioid cyme. Clear? Then next is the biparous cyme, which is observed in case of silene. So here what happened, this is also known as diacacial. Here two lateral branches ends in a flower. As you can see, this is the terminal flower. Again, two branches are developing, each terminating into a flower. Okay. Similarly, this is a multiparous. This is the oldest flower. These are the multiparous cyme. Okay. This is just similar to that of our branching, what we have studied in case of branching part. Then this is the cymose head. Here the flowers are sessile or subsessile and they are borne centrifugally around the receptacle, okay, in circle manner, and they are forming a ball like structure. This is observed in case of acacia. Okay, then next we come to our mixed type of inflorescence. That means this panicle, corymb, these also sometimes they show some mixed type of inflorescence. Okay, like panicle of spikelet, which is observed in case of rice, then mixed padix in banana, thyrsus, which is observed in grapevine, corymb of capitula in ageratum. Okay, so these are mixed type. Now the most important part, that is the special type of inflorescence. That means these are somewhat different from the other type. So here we find four different types. The first is the hypanthodium. Okay, here it is a condensation of three types of cymose inflorescence and they are forming a flux shaped structure. Okay, so as you can see, this is the receptacle. It has an opening where hairs are present, and within this the three different types of flowers are present. One is the male flower. Okay, male flowers are towards the pore, female flowers are towards the basal part, and in between are the neutral flowers, which are also known as the gall flowers. Okay, now the pollinating insect, they come and lay egg in these gall flowers. Okay, this is observed in case of ficus, banyan tree. Okay, so this is a characteristics of the ficus plant. Okay, then next is the Cynanthium. Cynanthium, this is observed in case of Dorstenia. Here the receptacle is saucer shaped. As you can see, it is like the saucer. The five flowers are in between and this is the receptacle. Then next is the verticillester, which we observe in case of either Ocimum or Leucas aspera. Okay, here the whole of the cymose flower develops in the axils of opposite leaves. Each cluster whole has two clusters. So you can see this is the arrangement of flower. The first flower is developed, then this is the second flower, third flower and fourth flower. Okay, on both the sides of the nodal part it develops, and the flowers develop from the axils of the leaf. Due to this overcrowding, they form a hole which is known as the verticell. Okay, and the last one is the cyathium. Okay, cyathium, it is a special type of condensed inflorescence. It is a cymose inflorescence. It has a conical receptacle and a green or colored involucre of 4 to 5 bracts. Now this consists of male flowers, female flowers. Okay, this is the female flower, these are male flowers, and some nectariferous glands are present. These glands will definitely help the pollen, the insect to attract so that pollination can take place. Okay, so these are the different types of inflorescence that we observe in different plants surrounding us. So go through the diagrams, the video properly, the notes are provided. So if you have any problem, then let me know. Okay, but while studying, always compare the diagram with the words, what is written, then you can better understand the type of inflorescence. Okay, and the examples are important, so along with the inflorescence, remember the examples. Okay, so if you have any doubt, let me know. Okay, thank you.